Let me ask you something. Have you ever done the right thing when no one would ever know? No camera, no thank you, no praise, no reward, just you and your conscience. Because those moments, those quiet, invisible choices, say more about who we are than the loud ones ever could. And today, I want to talk about that. Not in a motivational, be a good person kind of way, but in a real, human way. Because when no one is watching, that's when our true character shows up. A small story. There was a man who worked late nights cleaning offices. Not the kind of job people notice. He came in after everyone left. After the lights went out. After the praise was already given to someone else. One night, while emptying trash, he found an envelope. Inside it was money, a lot of it. No name, no camera, no one else around. He stood there for a moment, just standing, and in that pause, everything was possible. He could take it, no one would know, and that's the part people don't talk about enough. Because most moral decisions don't happen during dramatic moments. They happen in quiet pauses. Moments where no one is watching, except you. He returned the envelope, not because someone was looking, but because he was. And here's the thing, that moment never made the news. No one applauded, no one clapped, but it mattered. Why these moments are harder than we admit. Psychology tells us something interesting. Humans are deeply influenced by external accountability. In simple terms, we behave better when we feel observed. That's why people slow down near speed cameras. Why children behave differently when adults enter the room. Why we tidy up before guests arrive. It's not hypocrisy, it's human nature, but when that external pressure disappears, something else takes over. Our internal compass. And not everyone has spent time calibrating theirs. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Doing the right thing when no one is watching often feels harder than doing it when everyone is. Because there's no immediate payoff. No dopamine hit from praise. No validation, no reward, just silence. And the brain doesn't love silence. The brain loves feedback. So when there's no feedback, it asks questions. Does this even matter? Will anyone notice? Why should I be the one who does the right thing? And that's where character is formed. Not in grand gestures, but in these unanswered questions. Let me pause here for a second. Because if you're listening closely, you might realize this isn't really about morality. It's about identity. Who are you when no one is watching? Psychologists talk about something called self-concept. That's the story you tell yourself about who you are. I'm an honest person. I try to be fair. I do the right thing. But here's the catch. Self-concept isn't shaped by what we say about ourselves. It's shaped by what we do, especially in private. Every quiet decision becomes evidence. And the brain keeps receipts. So when you choose honesty in secret, you don't just do a good thing. You reinforce an identity. I am someone who does the right thing. And that identity makes the next good choice easier. This is how integrity compounds. Think about returning extra change to a cashier. No one notices. The cashier might not even realize. But you know. Or picking up litter when no one asked you to. Or refusing to gossip when the conversation would have welcomed it. These moments don't feel heroic. They feel boring. And that's exactly why they're powerful. Because real goodness is often boring. Quiet, uncelebrated, ordinary, and that's what makes it real. Now, let's flip this. What happens when we don't do the right thing in private? Nothing dramatic. At first, just a small rationalization. It's not a big deal. Everyone does it. It doesn't really hurt anyone. And that's the danger. Because the brain learns that too. It learns what we're willing to excuse. And slowly, almost invisibly, the internal compass drifts. Not because we're bad people, but because we stop paying attention. Why this matters more than ever. We live in an era of performance. Social media rewards visibility. Good deeds are documented. Kindness is curated. And while that's not inherently wrong, it creates a subtle trap. We begin to confuse being seen doing good with being good. But the two aren't the same. One builds reputation, the other builds character, and only one shows up when no one is watching. Here's a question worth sitting with. If every camera disappeared tomorrow, would your behavior change? Not in a dramatic way, but in the small things. The way you speak, the choices you make, the honesty you practice. Because those answers, they reveal the quiet foundation beneath everything else. The psychology of inner peace. There's a reason people who act with integrity often report a deeper sense of calm. Even when life is hard. It's not because they're perfect. It's because they're aligned. Their actions match their values. And that alignment reduces internal conflict. No mental gymnastics. No guilt. No replaying moments in your head. Just peace. And peace is a powerful reward. Even when no one else sees it. Remember the man and the envelope. That moment didn't change his life financially. It didn't bring recognition, but it did something quieter. It confirmed to himself who he was. And that knowledge, that quiet certainty, is something no one can take from you. So here's what I want to leave you with. The world doesn't always reward integrity. But integrity always rewards the person who practices it. Not with applause, not with praise, but with clarity, with peace, with self-respect. And sometimes, that's more than enough. Because when no one is watching, you still are. And that might be the most important witness of all. This is Fruits of Humanity, where kindness grows, even in the quiet moments.